Welcome to another episode of As Real As It Gets. I am your host, Lever KT, and today we have a very special episode for y'all. To the right of me, we got Jalen, the journalist. Hey, Jalen, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Life is beautiful, man. You already know what I'm about to say, bro. And we also got a very special guest today, lead baseball analyst for R1P, my boy A. Steezy. How you doing today, dog?
I'm doing good. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Hey, that's what's up, man. We also got my man Lever Weeze in the building, aka always in the streets, man. How you doing today, dog?
What it do?
Hey, you already know it, man. But as y'all can see today, we all got our jerseys on. I got my Michael Jeffrey Jordan rookie year Chicago Bulls jersey on. Hey, Jalen, man, I see you with a jersey on. What jersey
I got
you
my
got
IT
on?
jersey, Boston Celtics IT.
Oh, IT was a certified killer. Hey, Steez, man, I see you over there. What jersey you got on, dog?
And soon to be the best point guard in the league. Number 12, Ja Morant. I already know.
He definitely got next. Hey, Weeze, what jersey you got on?
I ain't gotta say too much, man.
Yes, sir. AI was a certified killer as well. Now it's time to get up into this layup line. You know, before you get in the game, man, you got to lay up. You know how we used to do back in the day when we played Little League. So before we get into this layup line, I want to send my condolences to the family of DMX. Hip-hop definitely lost a legend, so definitely want to send our condolences. And in the spirit of DMX, who I think is just one of those artists who, you know, has some of the best music you could pregame to, definitely before a game. I wanted to get into what is everybody's favorite DMX song. And typically I like to let everybody else go first, but this is one of those things that means so much to me. I actually want to go first in this topic. My favorite song by DMX is Back at One Piece with him and Aaliyah.
I swear I was gonna say that same joint, man.
Since you was going to say that, I'll give an honorable mention, and my honorable mention is Ayo Kato. Jalen, what was your favorite DMX record?
Well, the one with Aaliyah holds. It really, the one with Aaliyah, to me, it holds a good place in my heart because Aaliyah one of my favorite musician ever. If I had to go one, like just type my style of type of music I listen to, probably like X Gonna Give It To You. Because I like aggressive style music.
A girl broke your heart, and that song was relevant at the time.
Steez, what was your favorite DMX song?
Hey, I'm slipping. I'm falling. I can't get up. Bruh, I'm gonna say it's slipping, but right next to it, I believe How's It Going? Because the beat on that song is so fire.
Shit, besides that Back in One Piece, the second was Slipping. Motherfucker. Shit, this nigga had so many, Alright,
It's
with
on
these
here.
bitches, one from a nigga. It's a no. Yeah. Yeah. Classic.
Yes, sir. I think that was the most amazing thing about DMX. I think back to Little League. I feel like DMX had some of the best pregame music if you really want to dial in and get focused. I remember back, it was probably like 99. Our theme song was like, if it's on, it's on. And if your ass keep fronting, like, bro, that joint was like that. Like, I remember like being ready for a kickoff. I'm ready to go knock somebody out. Like, that joint was crazy.
Motherfucking another little honorable mention feature is that more money, more cash, more. Hey, that joint with Jay-Z, him and Jay-Z.
Yeah, a lot of people don't remember that joint, Weeze.
OKT. Do you know why? Like, do you know why Aaliyah's mother said that? Because like DMX wasn't like because you know Aaliyah came to the industry and like lots of artists like kind of preyed on her because she was so young and beautiful, and DMX didn't do that. So So she had like a great respect for DMX.
I mean, I think that just speaks volumes of the type of person that DMX was. I mean, if you look at Aaliyah back then, she always looked like she was a lot older than what she really was. Alrighty, so let's get into the first question. Who is your NBA MVP?
Man, like it was Embiid, but since due to his injury, I'm gonna have to go Jokic right now. I feel like it's a boring answer, but I feel like Harden right now is kind of getting. I don't think he's as high as people actually think. You could put Giannis, but I'm gonna go with Jokic right now. He's not been injured. He's been consistent the whole year. He just had a Player of the Month. So I have to go for him right now.
Well, here go the competition. LeBron got injured. Luka been playing bad. Well, he hasn't been playing up to par. His team hasn't been playing up to par. Joel Embiid got injured. James Harden just got injured. Damian Lillard has slowed down as of recently. So the obvious choice is Jokic. He had been the most consistent player, mainly because he got hurt this season. And I mean, Giannis could be one, but voters fatigue is a thing, and so Giannis isn't going to get it. It's going to be Jokic at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think James Harden still could pull it off if he come back in a decent amount of time. You know what I'm saying? I would hope LeBron would be able to, but I know he probably not. They got different goals. That's understandable. He older, but know what I'm saying? Like, but Jokic for sure. That's what I would say. Like, depending on how quick Harden come back, and I know Harden gonna keep up his pace how he been playing. So yeah, I say Harden.
All great answers. When I think about the MVP, I always think about the best player on the best team. That's why I felt like LeBron could have won it for so many years, just because he was the best player on the best team so many times. But I think Harden can really still win this MVP race. You look at the Nets, you look at their record, they're number one in the Eastern Conference. James Harden definitely has a shot at this. But moving forward, going to the next question of Layup Line. Who do y'all think is the best player in the 2021 NBA draft?
The best player you ask me in the 2021 draft is Cade Cunningham, without a doubt. I mean, he's literally been like the number. He's literally been the. I ain't gonna say he's been the number one pick the whole time during his collegiate career, but he's for a majority of his collegiate career, he's been the number one pick. Can I add on who is my favorite player in the draft? Yeah, Davion Mitchell from Baylor. Yeah, and I really like him just because he reminds me of like Marcus Smart type player in NBA.
Steve, who do you think is the best player in the NBA 2021 draft?
I think it's kind of an obvious answer. It's Cade Cunningham. I don't think this draft going like last year's draft where like we don't know who's going to be the first pick. Like it could have been between Ball, Edwards, or Wiseman last year. This year, I just think it's Cade because I mean like he's just that talented. If I had to say who my favorite right now is, I'm a big fan of Everett Mobley. I think Mobley's going to be a stud in the NBA draft out of the draft this year. I think wherever he goes, he's just going to ball out. But for who I think is the best, it's kind of just an obvious answer.
Yeah, Cade definitely seems to be the consensus number one. I have seen Mobley listed in several mock drafts as 2 or 3. Weez, who do you have?
Cade Cunningham. I'm saying I ain't really watched too much of the season this year. You know what I'm saying? Just didn't get into it for real. But he just give me like, you know what I'm saying? Trae Young, Ja Morant. You know how Trae Young was taking it over by, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing, and then Ja did the same thing. He just gave me that type of feel. And he crazy, like,
Jalen, who's your pro comp for Cade Cunningham?
Cade Cunningham, I'm going to say he's what? Shooting guard, small forward in the league. To me, I've always tried to compare him to like a Grant Hill type player. Can kind of do all around things. Yeah,
beautiful. I like that. I look at this draft and it's deep, like especially with the point guards. It's a lot of good guards. in this draft. Guards that I think they're going to make a big difference on the next level. But if you ask me who's the best player in this draft, it's clearly Jalen Green. Jalen Green is the guy that can. He's a bucket getter. Like, is no other explanation for that. Dude is just a flat out baller. If you want a guy that's going to go get you a bucket, Jalen Green is that guy. In the G League, he averaged 18 points a game, shot the three-pointer at sub 37%. Like, he's just a bucket. It's no other explanation to me. Like, he passes my eye test with flying colors.
Can I get a player count for Jalen Green?
But to give you a pro comparison, it'd be difficult. James Harden comes to mind. He's just not as strong as James Harden, but he's definitely as crafty as James Harden. And somebody else will probably be like a Bernard King, just somebody who's a bucket getter. Rings versus stats, rings over stats, stats over ring. So this segment is really interesting. Because recently, I'm gonna tie in a bunch of stuff into this thing. Recently, we've heard Stephen A. Smith says he's not impressed with the numbers. I don't know if you all heard. Russell Westbrook was the first player to score at least 35 points and have 20 assists. Mm-hmm. And I believe got in a triple double. It's crazy that somebody achieved something that great, but Stephen A. Smith was like, he doesn't really care because he doesn't have a ring. Now, Russell Westbrook answered beautifully. He was like, I've gotten to a point in my life that I don't really care what people have to say about me. He's like, I watch March Madness and people are so quick to write kids off and say whatever they feel about a kid when they're just kids. You know what I mean? But he said, I am a champion. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, like, he's a champion. He doesn't need an NBA championship to say that he's a, you know what I'm saying? He is a champion. If you really think about the root word of a champion, you know what I'm saying? He's overcome obstacles. When he first got drafted into the league, y'all know what he was known as? A defender. People didn't think he'll be much more than a defender. We just remember this. Who was the guy at UCLA when he was there? It was two people. Darren Collison and Kevin Love. Darren Collison was that guy at UCLA. So that's one aspect of this stats versus rings conversation, because I think it's a brilliant conversation. Also, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen, correct me if I'm wrong, as recently saying that he wants to get away from stat chasing and he wants to win more. How did he phrase it exactly, Jalen?
It was like he basically said that he did everything. He got the stats. He stat padded. He did everything he can, and people know how good he is, but he hasn't won anything.
Got you. And that brings us to where we at now. So we had this conversation of rings. We had this conversation of stats. I told Jalen earlier that I would rather have Robert Ory's career, and Weez knows this to be true, than I have Charles Barkley or Patrick Ewing's career. Like, those players are heralded. Those players are first ballot Hall of Famers. But I would rather have the rings. Winning is important to me. It's very important to me. Like, you know, I will take a step back in order to win. So I want to get y'all take on this. How do y'all feel about this overall conversation? Weez, we coming to you first. So I know that's a lot to deal with. You sort of out how you see fit.
Yeah, like, at the end of the day, what you getting into it for? Why you fall in love with the, the sport? You want to be, like, yeah, you want to be the best. What you want to get them accomplishments. You want to win the ring. Like, be part of something that, like, I don't know. We come from the same area, so you already know that competitiveness, it get heavy. Right. Especially if I was in that situation, I know I'm a very emotional person over basketball. I want to know like that. On the other hand, I definitely feel what Russ talking about. You know what I'm saying? Coming from where, like, people, like, you know what I'm saying, he come from or we come from. Like, ain't too many making it out, man. For real, it really ain't. You know what I'm saying? So for him to overcome them obstacles, he definitely a champion.
He a champion.
At the end of the day, he gonna be able to take care of all his people. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna be good. It ain't about on the court all the time. It's off the court. But at some point, for me, I definitely want the ring.
You want the ring. So let me ask you this. So do you look at Russell Westbrook in the same light as Allen Iverson? Now, Westbrook has had talented people around him. AI hasn't. But I'm so mad AI didn't win a ring because I feel like he deserved one when he went against the Lakers. Everybody remember the shot and the step over Tyronn Lue. Like, he did that with not a lot of help. You gave AI KD, he has a championship. So this is kind of where, and I think you answered that question beautifully because you gave both sides of the spectrum. So this is kind of where it's like I'm looking at Stephen A. Smith because I know Stephen A. Smith has a great love for Allen Iverson, but I don't feel like he has that same love in the terms of respect for Russell Westbrook. So how do you evaluate those two players? Are they looked at the same because they both haven't won a championship, or they one had far better talent and had the possibilities to win a championship, but maybe some of his selfishness got the best of him?
That's why I don't like. It's definitely not. It's not the same to me. Like AI, like say he ain't had nobody, and he actually got there.
Right.
Like Russ never got there when KD left. Well, he got to the first round like one time, and they lost. Like without when it was just him before Paul George came.
Absolutely.
But yeah. Like AI ain't have nobody, and like at the end of the day, like his heart wouldn't allow him to like nah, we going here. He put him on his back, and they went to that championship. Even though they lost, he still got there.
Right, and I brought that up for a reason because AI was quoted saying maybe 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, was saying that that Westbrook reminded of him most because he had that dog in him. You know what I'm saying? But brilliant way to answer that. Let's come to you next, Steve. Like I said, that was a lot to take in, but pretty much the overall theme is rings versus stats. How do you view this? And use any type of analogies or parallels you would like to use. But how do you think it's viewed overall?
Like for me, I want a ring. Like having the ring is important to me. Then going down as known as a great player, but. Like, I'm a big Westbrook fan. I have to defend him on this one because, I love his story. The dude works his ass off, and I feel like he gets overhated. When I'm looking at this, it just sounds like Stephen A. cannot view the game of basketball this way. Like, I feel like he's not enjoying it. When I see a historic night like that, that's impressive to me. But Stephen A. sees it as like, oh, but you don't got a ring, though. It's like, why does that matter? Why are you going to bring up you don't got a ring when he just dropped a 35 and 20 game?
Great point.
It's like... And it's like, what are you going to do? So Vince Carter, right? He don't got a ring, but he has a big imprint on the game of basketball. People idolize Vince Carter, but we're going to bring up he doesn't have a ring. Chris Paul, he been in the league for years. But what are you going to say? Like, Chris Paul going to have a 20 assist game, and we're going to go over to him and be like, what happened in the Western Conference Finals, though? Right. Then we're going to go to, like, even AI, AI is going to be one of the most idolized players. I know so many people that idolize AI. We're gonna say he did what happened in Game 7. It's like Stephen A. That was just lame of him. I think he's just not. He's seeing the game of basketball different. You gotta respect his game like that. I think Westbrook, he wants a ring. I know Westbrook wants the ring. He's not. He's been in positions where he could have. I don't think they're great positions though. Like that big three he had that fell apart. Like you can say KD, aka Snake. And then he went on to Houston, and that Houston situation was just drama. It didn't work out. And then the Wizards thought, oh, let's put a player who's a stat stuffer and doesn't lead the winning with another player that's a stat stuffer and can't lead the winning. Right. And it's like we'll see how this works out. But it's like, yeah, Westbrook and Beal are cool. They're going to drop, Beal's going to drop 30 points a game. Westbrook's going to drop a triple-double a game. Look at the rest of the team, though. You got Alex Landry starting center. You ain't going to win games with Alex Landry starting center. I feel like Westbrook's not put in the best positions. Even though I might look at it, you got to look at it, more clearly. It's not the greatest positions to go win a championship. And I just think like Stephen A. He got to more like enjoy the game of basketball, see it into a different perspective than just say, oh, but you don't got a ring,
I think he one of them type players like, know what I'm saying? Like a Damian Lillard, like he ain't gonna be pressed to go just join no already established team. Like that ain't in him, know what I'm saying? So he might not. Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully he do get a ring someday, but like I don't think he gonna join no bandwagon like that.
Yeah, that's not in his DNA. Great take, Steez. Great take, Weez. Jalen, I've been kind of excited to hear what you have to say about this current situation. So, like I say, rings versus stats. How do you view it? How do you view this Russ Westbrook versus Stephen A. Smith situation as well?
I think I've used stats more. Like I'd rather have Charles Barkley career than Robert Horry career. Yeah, Robert Horry got 7 rings, but he ain't got that Hall of Fame. I think being in the Hall of Fame is more important than getting a ring, just because it's thousands of players. It's not thousands of players, but like it's 15 players every year that win a ring. You know, every year. It's more players that have won a ring than is probably in the Hall of Fame for the NBA. So, you know, if I'm looking at them like, man, I want to be in the Hall of Fame more than I want to win a ring. But to what like all these NBA analysts on other companies say, like, you know, it's suck when they criticize these players, like how Steve said, you know, Stephen A. wasn't enjoying the game, and he wasn't, and that annoys me. Like, you know, like I still remember when Rondo had a triple double against the Knicks after his name was in trade talks on the Celtics back in like 2011, 12. I just enjoyed that game. I didn't care that he only had 1 ring. I didn't care that Celtics was still going to trade him and everything. Like, I just went out and enjoyed that game. But like, I enjoyed watching Chris Paul in the playoffs in the bubble just because he was a point god in the playoffs.
Yeah, that hard too.
But you know, I don't get how some NBA analysts could be like, oh, you know, he ain't got a ring, so his career won't entirely matter, and then get mad when these players go in and, you know, ring chase. Like, right. Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, people got mad at Kevin Durant for going to the Warriors and everything like that. But at the same time, you know, they still like at the end of the day, they'd be like, you ain't got no ring. No, like, you know, if say if he never went to the Warriors, they'd be like, you ain't got no ring. Like how they do Charles Barkley. You're a great player and all, but you know, the first thing Shaq do, I got 4 of these rings. You got none. Like, yeah, like you can't have it both ways. You can't get mad when a player go on ring chase after you know, say, oh, it don't matter because they ain't got no ring. You can't get mad at them for ring chasing. So I don't like the comments. I never got why the NBA media has did that, but it just is what it is at this point. They gonna keep doing it.
Great take, and let's be clear, Shaquille O'Neal, you're not winning a ring without Flash or Mamba. Let's be abundantly clear. And if I had the choice, and maybe I'm being biased here, and I'm drafting, and I'm taking Charles Barkley because he wanted to win. Like, those Suns teams were decent at best. You know what I'm saying? And he took them to the finals. So y'all handled that question specifically wonderful. I'm glad we got into this. So back to this Karl Anthony Towns thing. So now, that question, if I'm the Timberwolves organization, I'm considering trading him. Because the way I see that question is like, y'all do what y'all supposed to do. I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying? So me, the way I think, I'm trading him. I'm not about to lose him. You know what I'm saying? To free agency, because he clearly just told you legacy is important. You know what I'm saying? So he wants to win. So that the message I got out of that is that, listen, if y'all don't give me some goddamn help expeditiously, deuces. So if y'all the Timberwolves organization, how do y'all take that message? Do y'all take it the same way I take it? And how do y'all feel overall about this Karl Anthony Towns situation? You can go first, Weez.
Yeah, motherfucker. He laid it out there for you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't get the signs, then I don't know.
Right.
You don't want to be there. You want the rings. What y'all doing for him?
Exactly.
On the wall.
I go. Get some draft picks for him or something.
Immediately. That's definitely what I would do. Steez.
Well, okay. So if I'm the Timberwolves organization, I'm looking at like, if y'all can tell me how much years is left on Karl Anthony Towns' contract.
Is it a year?
Know?
He has.
I believe he signed an extension back in like 2019.
Okay.
Yeah,
might have like 3 more years.
Like 3 years, I believe.
He got 3 years left.
I don't know. So I know he signed that extension though for sure.
Because I'm like looking at it and I'm like, maybe just one more year. That's what I'm kind of looking at. Because I liked what the Timberwolves were doing in the offseason. I just feel like it just turned into a dumpster fire. Like, Beasley had his problems. D'Lo, aka the snitch, he got injured. Cat had to go through so much stuff. He's been going through a lot of stuff. I just been feeling bad for the dude.
Right.
I wanted to see him go trade for a power forward like Aaron Gordon. They didn't. They got Anthony Edwards, obviously, and they're probably gonna get another good pick this year. Just how the team's been. I feel like the team this year has just been on like a roller coaster of just bad events. They just haven't been able to be healthy or just dealing through stuff. Their coach, Sanders, to start the season was terrible. Thank God he's finally off that team. I feel like one more season with Karl Anthony Towns, if it just did not work out, you don't see much improvement at all. Not even like a playoff or anything. Trade him. But you got to get a good package for the future. But yeah, I'll say trade him. After 1 year, you got to give him one more year. That's it.
So I want to say this. He signed a 5-year extension back in 2018. So he has, 3 more years left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be better for Timberwolves, I would say. Because say if this year didn't work, instead of him being on a 1-year deal with less value, he'd be on a 2-year deal. So there'd be still be more value on the trade. Unless
he pull a James Harden this time.
Right. Which can happen in the NBA. That leads us kind of to our next discussion. So I don't know if this was earlier today or a different day. Jalen and I was talking about kind of conference relegation / realignment. I know Steezy knows what that is because Moon has done it in one of his dynasties before. But the West Coast, the Western Conference seems to be a lot more superior than the Eastern Conference. I think if you look at year after year, some of the teams that miss in the West will make it in the East just typically because that 7th AC probably got losing records. If they did do this, how will it work? Do y'all think it needs to be done, or do you think that things need to be left as is and the East just needs to get better? Let's start with you, Jalen.
It's hard because it's like, like the NBA, like, the conference right now, like the Celtics know they got to play the Knicks 4 times. So I would say to me, I think they should keep the same for like at least the next 3 years. They should keep it how it is right now. But if it's still looking how like the West is dominating and the East has like 2 or 3 teams that, might make it to the finals, maybe one team that's an obvious choice, I think you get rid of it. But to me, if they get rid of it, I mean, they can keep it all the same. Like the Celtics can still play the Knicks 4 times. They can still play the Sixers 4 times. Still play the Lakers twice a year. The NBA like money, so they might boost it up to 3 times a year. So like they can keep it the same, but I don't think it should be touched right now. Just because I think the East, you gotta give the East a little bit more time.
Steez.
My whole opinion on it, because as a Grizzlies fan, I've wanted some change, just because we in the West, we're firing our asses off. The West is so competitive, but the problem is Memphis is in the East, so I don't get why I'm in the West. It's getting me mad because like the Eastern Conference has the Hornets as the fourth seed, and we're better than the Hornets easily, and we've been dominant against Eastern Conference teams this season. So I feel like if we were in the East, the Grizzlies would have it way easier. I even brought up to my dad like 2 years ago when we had like Ivan Rapp starting. We were 33-49. That would have got us an 8th seed in the East. It's like,
wow.
My whole. If I wanted some change to it, I would either say Adam Silver, go get 2 more teams, put a franchise up in Vegas because that's what's been popping lately. And I just teams are going there like the Knights and the Raiders, and then also add a team back to Seattle because they've been fiending for one. And then when you put those teams in there, you can move Memphis to the East, and then either move the Pelicans or Timberwolves because they're in the East. If it's not that, then I would say put the top 16 teams make the playoffs instead of the top 8 in East Conference. So I can see the top 16 instead of the.
I hear you. So based on records,
like I don't want to see the top 8 in the East with the fourth seed being barely over 500.
Exactly.
While the 8th seed in the West is like way better than that fourth seed. I'd rather see the top 16 teams. I feel like that would make the playoffs way better and way more entertaining to watch.
Wow, Weez?
Yeah, I think it should stay the same. I think just like Steve said, it should be the best top 16 teams, or if they want to extend it a little more, just to give us teams like how they doing with the play-in right now. But actually, I like that play-in idea, how they doing it now too. That's a good idea. But yeah, it definitely should stay the same. Like, I don't know, each just gotta get better. They gotta figure out something. I don't know. And it's been like that for years. That's crazy. Yeah. Like ever since I was a kid. I don't know why it's always been like
since
that.
Jordan retired.
Hey, but yeah, I like it should stay the same. They just gotta figure out something.
All right, so I'm looking at it, and I think Steve's cracked the Da Vinci Code when he said that they need to add 2 teams. Because you look at the NFL, they got an American Football Conference, the AFC. They got a National Football Conference, the NFC, right? And it's not an East Coast or a West Coast thing. They got the AFC East, NFC East, AFC North, NFC North, AFC South, NFC South, AFC West, NFC West. And if you look at those 8 divisions, you know what I'm saying, it's based on location. But I think that'll kind of alleviate some of the NBA's problems with some of these teams. Also, does the lottery system play a role in this at all?
Nah.
No?
No.
Because, I mean, I feel like in the NFL, teams, I hate using the word, what's the word that they use in the NFL? When teams just, I don't know why people use it. Tank, yeah, well, you know, they're tanking. I hate that verbiage because that third cornerback on that team is fighting for his NFL career. He ain't trying to tank for nothing. He's trying to provide for his family. So I've always hated the term taking. But I feel like some teams that were bad can get decent based on, you know, a draft pick can change a team's life. If you look at what LeBron James did for the Cleveland Cavaliers, what Jordan was able to do for the Bulls, hell, even in the NFL, where like Kyler Murray is starting to change the Cardinals around a little bit. Josh Allen has changed the Bills' fortune. You know what I'm saying? A good draft pick, you know, a high draft pick can make the difference. Now you do have the organizations like the Wizards, like you can give them the first pick in this year's draft, and something's going to tell them, oh, hey, we should draft Boston, BJ Boston. Like that's who the Wizards will draft with the first pick. Him as around getting him as Aaron Williams. Like, but
was that Cleveland drafted Anthony Bennett?
I mean, so
but
like,
it's true because Bennett was projected like 9th to 11th in that draft, and they drafted him first.
Wow, I did not know that. That's crazy.
That's interesting. So y'all don't feel like the lottery system doesn't play a role in that at all?
No, because at the end of the day, the NBA, the NFL, you can get better through free agency and drafting in like a year, maybe 2, like quick. Like look at the Dolphins. The Dolphins were just like what, a lottery team last year during this time. Then they were just fighting for a playoff spot. That doesn't happen in the NBA just because the NBA is so star-studded. It's like it's all about superstars. If you ain't got a superstar on your team with decent role players, you probably ain't making a playoff spot, or you ain't fighting for one.
Let me ask you this, Jalen. Players excluded. Would you rather play in Milwaukee or would you rather play in Sacramento? California sunshine. I'm going to Cali in the summertime. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I would say Sacramento. Like, you know, I mean, I know it get a little bit colder the more north you get in Cali.
Yeah.
I believe Sacramento is more
it gets
north.
cooler. Yeah, it is.
But like, you know, I'm this close to LA, San Francisco, San Diego. Like, Las Vegas. I'm going to Sacramento.
It's like, would you rather?
Code ain't got nothing on that Sacramento. That Sacramento code. You know what I'm saying? That
Right. Milwaukee is bird. It's snowing out there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like in DC. DC has, hot, humid summers, but if you ask me, would I rather play in Arizona? And Arizona does get hot, but it's not humid. It's a dry heat. But would I rather, spend Christmas in Arizona or Christmas in DC? I'm picking Arizona. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go play with the Phoenix Suns. So I don't know. Like, does that have anything to do with it? Like, Michael Jordan is. I mean, if you look at the East back then, you had you had the Charlotte Hornets. You had the Knicks teams were good. You had the Bulls, Pacers. Who else?
He at the end of Jordan's team.
Orlando Magic. Like, the teams were there. I'm just wondering, how has it been such a drastic shift out west?
It's just like location and market. Like, I want to go play for LA. LA has always been like this team that somehow ends up with, being in free agency talks with every team. Like the Knicks have been so irrelevant in a minute. Like, they in rumors, but then it's like, oh, they don't get those players. But LA is hot there. And it's a big market. So is New York. But New York, New York doesn't like James Dolan has ruined New York. If you ask me, he's run New York to the ground. Orlando, nobody wants to play for Orlando because that's where the old players go to die.
Right.
Charlotte just isn't attractive enough, especially after going to the Bobcats where they were failures and then going back to the Hornets.
Right.
But the Pacers is in the middle of Indiana. Who wants to be in Indiana?
Right.
So it's like, then you look at Houston, this beautiful city, Houston,
right.
LA, the Clippers and Lakers, Dallas even sometimes.
Right. Nice weather.
Yeah,
beautiful women.
Like you always see all these players want to go to Miami sometimes now.
Right.
South Beach.
Right.
Nobody want to chill
that's
in
a
Milwaukee.
destination, South Beach, and then you got Pat Riley, the Godfather. So I don't know. I don't even know if this can be fixed. I think, like Steve say, top 16 would be best. I think what they're worried about is a 7-game series between, let's say, the 7th seed in the let's say it's a 7-3 matchup, right? Oh no. You say top 16, right? So let's say it's a how would that work? In 16 teams, it will be 16 versus 1, right? 2 versus 15. So let's say like a 7-8 matchup, right? Let's say that 7-8 matchup is the Portland Trailblazers versus the Miami Heat, right? So then you think about travel time and how far of a travel that is from the greater Northwest to Miami. I think that's kind of the reason why the NBA hasn't gone to all 16 teams, because a matchup like that will make it difficult. You know what I mean? Like, because of just the travel time alone. So I don't know.
Got a quick question, real quick. Yeah, did y'all like the bubble out there?
I did.
Yeah, it was a good idea.
It too. Like they should do that. You know what I'm saying, for them playoffs, when it comes to the playoffs.
You mean like the playing game, or as far as what?
The playoffs.
The whole bubble. The whole bubble
playoffs. Yeah,
I love that. It alleviated the travel, all of that. They should definitely do that this year.
They would definitely be able to do that. You know
okay. I see what you did there.
Crucial right there.
Right. To have a bubble, and they can even have fans in it, kind of like what the NCAA did this year with Indiana. They kind of had their miniature bubble there, but that's interesting.
Can I say a quote? Mm-hmm. Y'all remember Joe Noah said in a press conference in Cleveland?
Yes, sir.
Remember he said, "I ain't never heard no one say they want to go to Cleveland on vacation."
That's facts. That's facts.
But I hear you. So KT, would you say because I hear with the travel thing. Mm-hmm. So honestly, the 32 team idea would be better, because there's still that problem even right now like as the Grizzlies, you know, and even like Timberwolves or Pelicans have to deal with. Like
That's
in
a
2015,
great point.
When there was in 2015 there was the Grit and Grind Grizzlies, you know, back in that era, we had to go play the Warriors in the first round.
That's
that
a travel
time is not good.
Right.
So like I think the 32 team idea I think would really work for NBA.
What'd you say, Weez?
I think it's
Oh no, I was saying I like that too.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I think Adam Silver, man, if he needs help, he should hire you all, man. I feel like y'all and like you say, the Supersonics deserve a team. Seattle deserves a team.
Yeah.
The loyal, you know, the Greater Northwest is just loyal in general.
St. Louis.
Anything else for this segment?
St. Louis.
I want to say one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, as long as the Celtics are looking like this, I'm fine with them keeping this conferences.
Hey, man, I heard that, man.
I got the Celtics in the play-in game.
You do? Hey, it's funny you mentioned that because our next segment, sleepers and contenders, which it still says conference relegation, but you know, we'll fix that real quick. There we go. Sleepers and contenders. This is interesting. This is a topic that Jalen came up with. I'm going to run down the top 10 teams, each conference, their record. We're going to start with the East first, and then we'll work our way to the West. All right. So in the East, number 1 spot, Nets, 36-16. The 76ers are 35-17. Number 2 seed, number 3 seed is the Milwaukee Bucks. They're 32-20. Charlotte Hornets are 27-24. The Hawks are 28-25. The Heat, number 6 seed, is 27-25. The Celtics are the number 7 seed at the moment. They're 27-26. Knicks are the 8 seed at 26-27. The Pacers, number 9 seed, they're 24-27. And the Bulls right now, who've been playing pretty well as of late since they got Vucevic, they're 22-29. So in the East, and you all's is mine. Well, I guess I'll go to you all one by one. Weez, in the East, what team, if you were a top 10, like a top tier seed, like you like 1 or 2, which team would you not want to play? Like one of those bottom seeds that I just read off.
I had to probably say I like how the Hawks been playing.
Mm-hmm.
I like how the Hawks been playing. Nate McMillan, ever since they picked him up as their coach, like he got him on the right track. Trae Young been showing off. Him and John Collins, they chemistry been clicking.
Mm-hmm.
Clint Capella been a big piece for him.
Mm-hmm.
Lou Will, he felt like he got something to prove. Like I wouldn't want to play them. Can't think of another team right off back, but yeah, definitely them Hawks. I just been watching them a lot lately.
So the Hawks is definitely one of those teams you say are scary. Now, out of the top 4 seeds, actually I'm gonna say the top 3. Top 3 seeds in the East, Weez, the Nets, Sixers, and Bucks. Who out of those 3 teams could you see having an early round exit like that? That will kind of shock everybody.
Like I just ain't been sold on the Bucks. I don't know why.
Me either. We were telling Fuss that the other day.
Yeah, like y'all like that's cool. You do all that. You got you a Greek freak and all that. They ain't enough though, dog. And they don't have enough. Like Chris Middleton a dog. Like he be balling. That's my dog right there. He just ain't. I don't know. I ain't sold on him, man.
Jalen, I'm coming to you next. Your Celtics sitting at that number 7 spot. And if you look at the wins, it's not many games in between that 7th seed and the 4th seed. So I want to ask you, how are you feeling about your Celtics now? And then you give me who you think is a team, like a sleeper team that's in the East at the moment.
How am I feeling about the Celtics? Still disappointed. Mm-hmm. We should have made a trade for Aaron Gordon. We need defense. We need another wing. Evan Fournier gives you another wing, but he isn't versatile really, and he doesn't play defense. he's had injury problems too. I just don't like it. Like we traded Daniel Tice to get Mo Wagner and Luke Cornett. Don't get me wrong, Luke Cornett's been balling, but Mo Wagner sucks. Dude can't grab a rebound to save his life. I remember specifically Joel Embiid just said, "Oh shoot, like y'all gonna have Robert Williams and Taco Fall on me? Okay, I'm just bullying them then.
Barbecue chicken.
Like, yeah, like I'm still disappointed by this team.
Right.
Kemba has been play like Kemba this season, just been like kind of inconsistent up and down. Tatum seems uninterested. Jaylen Brown seems good, but he can't. Him and Jaylen Brown just Tatum struggle to play off each other, and it frustrates me. Danny Ainge refuses to make trades, and it frustrates me. Brad Stevens refuses to play players minutes, and it frustrates me. Kemba steady isoing, and it frustrates everybody. It's just annoying, like how the Celtics have handled this season. But what was the next question after that?
Pretty much in the East, who do you think are legit contenders, and who do you think is a sleeper in the East?
Legit contenders, Sixers and Nets.
Most definitely.
I think the Bucks are contenders, but they're more contenders than sleepers. But I don't really have them contending. Really, like how you ask Weez, who out of the top three teams who will get bounced first? I got the Bucks. But
so would you make the Bucks more of a pretender than the contender, or would you not go that far and call them a pretender?
I wouldn't go that far, call them pretender, because at the same time, I wouldn't be shocked if they made it to the finals or the Western Conference. I mean, not Western, Eastern Conference Finals.
Can I ask you a question before your next thought? My apologies. Right now, the Bucks will play the Heat. Who in here think the Bucks will beat the Heat in a 7-game series?
I wanted to say, like, I forgot all about the Heat, and I apologize to the Heat. My name is Jimmy G. Buckets. G stand for get. Come on, man. They just went to the finals last year. What's wrong with it?
Yeah, so
they not fucking with the Heat? Hell no. Hell no. They come out of there.
oh man.
What y'all think? Jalen, Steve?
I think the Bucks are better than the Heat this season, and they will beat the Heat just because the Heat still lack some depth. If the Bucks play the Heat, I got the Bucks in 6.
Wow,
man. So I mean, I got the Bucks, but I mean, Jalen knows it. Jalen at least knows this. I hate the Heat. And the Heat are trash. I don't care, bro. My Grizzlies had to drop them dumbasses 2 times this year, dude. I don't like Iggy. I don't like Hero. I don't like none. I like Jimmy G. I like Bam. I ain't gonna lie. But I don't like most of their team. Yeah, they ain't it. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, they made the finals last year. Credit to them. But last year when they made the finals in the playoffs, they had the chemistry. They looked unstoppable. They had the heart. I don't see that this year. So I ain't gonna say they're gonna beat the Bucks. I'll say the Bucks beat them in 6, like Jalen. Or even in 5.
Even with Vic Oladipo? Y'all saying that they gonna beat them with Vic Oladipo?
Oladipo's playing bad since he's got there.
He's averaging 10 points right now in the Heat, and he's got injured already. Hell no. So I ain't gonna say that the Heat are gonna do anything.
Wow, I got the Heat.
What's going on right now?
Because people say, well, Oladipo's doing good in the Rockets. No, he wasn't. He was averaging 20 points on the bum-ass Rockets. And he was shooting 39% from the field. So how's that playing good? That ain't impressing me.
I like Oladipo because he's a two-way player.
How long was he there to actually establish anything? Like, he just got dumped to the Rockets. Who the fuck what they've been through.
You got it on. He works hard a lot. He works hard a lot too.
Man, put some respect on Oladipo, man. That man, yeah.
If he can stay healthy,
And then another thing with the Heat, they had like all this little COVID protocols. Like Dragic was out, Jimmy G was out for amount of time. Like, you just gotta give them time.
I understand that, but like I'm talking about what I've seen recently. They're still not impressive to me. I understand what the whole because when Jimmy G was injured and he first came back, they were balling. But right now, it's not impressive to me. And I mean, the Bucks, I'll say yeah. The Bucks, they be struggling in the playoffs. The Greek Freak be choking up in the playoffs, but I can't see it. I'll give him 6 games.
The difference in the regular season and the playoffs is that the mid-range game becomes a factor in the playoffs. The scoring dips a lot in the playoffs, and when you look at that Bucks Raptors series a couple of years ago, Kawhi Leonard, the Claw, was able just to get more buckets than the Greek Freak, like from everywhere.
One more. Oh, God, my bad.
KT missing the point though in the playoffs. It's something different about the playoffs from the regular season in the NBA.
What's that?
You know who you playing for the next 4 to 7 games.
That's a great point.
You ain't playing for the next 4 to 7 games. You ain't playing Milwaukee and then traveling back to New York the next day to play the Nets.
Right.
It ain't playing no coaches.
Oh, and you putting your money on Budenholzer, Jalen?
Nah.
I'm giving that joint disposed, man.
He's already certified. He got them chips already.
Chips Ahoy, man. Wow, this question took kind of the turn I wanted it to take. Did I get everybody's take about Steez? I didn't get your.
Oh, you mean just Steez?
Yeah, okay. So Steez. So I read off the Eastern Conference. Who do you believe are the contenders, and who's like a sleeper team that if you were a higher tier seed that you wouldn't want to play first round?
Contenders, I gotta go with the Nets. I mean, bro, the Nets are just too stacked. There's like no way I can't. I want to say the Sixers, but like exactly what we were just talking about. Playoffs is different. The Sixers have not shown up at the playoffs. They're a different team to the playoffs, and not to mention a new coach, Doc Rivers. Look what he's done in the last couple of years in the playoffs. He choked up too. So I feel like that getting added together in the playoffs, I'm not sure if that's going to work out in the season it has, but I'm not like, sold on it. The Bucks, they haven't been they haven't really been good in the playoffs the last couple of years. So I'm about to go with the Nets. And for sleeper, I'm going to have to go with Jalen Celtics. Even though I know they've been so disappointed this season, it's like
I like that pick.
We still got 3 All-Stars.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and you guys got the 3 All-Stars. If that team starts heating up and they go to the playoffs, there's no doubt that they're a sleeper team, and I think they can. I don't think they're going to be exactly where they're at right now by the end of the season. I think they're going to be way better. I don't think they know play in, but I think for sure they're a sleeper team. Last year, to me, they were type sleepers. So
gotcha.
Like, I'm gonna have to go with Celtics for sleeper, and a contender, obviously the Nets.
All right, if I'm in the East, and I can't disagree with anything you all said, but the team I don't want to play in the East is the Knicks. First round, I don't want to play. I don't want to play that physical team. Y'all know what Tom Thibodeau's going to do. You know what I'm saying?
Defense.
I don't want to play that team in the first round. Like, your first round, you want to be able to do what you want to do. But with some of those players he have on his team, they got chips. I'm talking about, big chips on their shoulders, man. I don't know if I want to play those guys round 1. But that the Heat, great call. Hawks, great call. Celtics, great call. Those are all teams, like you say, you wouldn't want to face. And if the Bulls can figure out a way, what they're doing is pretty special as well. So let's move to the West. I'm gonna go into the reverse order for the West. So we got the Jazz. 39-13. I know how people feel about the Jazz. Suns, I really like the Suns. 36-15. Clippers are 36-18. Nuggets are 34-18. At the 5th seed, the Lakers, they're slowly dropping, but they're holding on. They're 32-20. The Blazers 30-21. The Mavs at the 7th seed 29-22. I'm kind of disappointed in a way Luka has been playing as of late. The 8th seed are the Grizz. They're Steve's Grizz. They're 26-24. Spurs are the 9th seed at 24-26. The Warriors are the 10th seed at 24-28. So Steve's, who are the pretenders? I'm sorry, not the pretenders. Who are the contenders in this conference, and who is a sleeper team in this conference?
Contenders. Okay, for contenders, I'm gonna have to say I'm actually sold on the Jazz. I ain't gonna lie. Like their team all together, they're so like the chemistry is crazy, and the team just shoots lights out. They got 3 All-Stars. You can kind of say Conley ain't really it, but off the bench you got Clarkson, 6th man of the year for sure. I'm sold on the Jazz. I ain't gonna lie. I do think the Lakers, when they're all healthy, you know, I know they're like the 5th seed right now. When they're all healthy, they're obviously going to be contenders. And I don't think their seeding right now tells me that's how good they are. They're way better than that.
Right.
I mean, who do y'all think I'm gonna pick for sleeper? Like, it's kind of obvious.
Right. So
the Grizzlies are a sleeper. Shout out to Isaiah Thomas, not the one on Jalen's jersey, but the one back on the Bad Boy Pistons. He just said 2 days ago, you do not want to meet the Grizzlies in the first round.
Woo!
And there's a name I gotta say, Jaren Jackson Jr. Y'all have to forget, we are 26 and 24 right now in the Western Conference, and we haven't even played with Jaren Jackson Jr. yet.
Hey.
Like,
talk.
We were injured in the start of the season. We had pretty much, I think, 7 players out, like, and with Ja being one of those players for a while, like, we are a sleeper team for sure. I think once we get Jaren back, we're going to be amazing. And I also got to say, one player, D'Anthony Melton, he's probably one of the most underrated players in the league. Dude's playing 17 minutes a game. Taylor Jenkins, please give him more minutes. 17 minutes per game, and he's averaging 10 points and shooting 45% from the field. Can't sleep on D'Anthony Melton. You can't sleep on the Grizzlies. They are a sleeper, certified.
I think what a lot of people don't realize about the Jazz is that they had the Nuggets before the Nuggets made it to the Western Conference Finals. They came back from 3-1 twice in the playoffs last season, if I'm not mistaken, right? In the playoffs,
yeah,
they did. So the Jazz may be for real. So Jalen, I would like to get your opinion on this conversation. But Jalen, before you even get into who's your contender, who's your pretender, I'm looking at something and it makes me laugh. I'm not gonna lie.
Who's my pretender?
Your contender and your sleeper. I said before we get to that though, I'm looking at something and it's making me laugh, bro. So the Clippers are the 3rd seed, right?
Yeah.
Let's say, you know, LeBron comes back a few weeks from now, AD comes back a few weeks from now, and let's say somehow that 6-3 matchup is the Lakers and the Clippers. If I'm that 3rd seed, I'm getting the hell away from that 3rd seed. Make me the 4th seed. I'm doing all the winning I can to get to the 2nd seed, but I do not want to be that 3rd seed and have to pay the Lakers opening round. That's just something I feel like I need to get off my chest. So let's get back into this contender and sleeper in the Western Conference. Who are your contenders? Who are your sleepers?
Contenders, man, I'm gonna have to say Lakers, Clippers, and well, of course, I'm tossing the Nuggets with Aaron Gordon now. Before the Aaron Gordon, before Aaron Gordon, I would call them a sleeper. I'm also say the Jazz. I like all 4 of those teams. I feel like people sleep on the Jazz though. I do think the Jazz rely too much on 3-point shooting, and that, you know, if that goes cold in the playoffs, it's like done deal. Of course, the Lakers, because LeBron and Anthony Davis going to be back, and
right.
LeBron and Anthony Davis are LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Yes, sir.
The Clippers, because, you know, Kawhi and Paul George are still some of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. Also, Pat Bev, even though he just said he was getting surgery, going to be out for I believe 4 weeks. He's still a good defender. They got Rondo now. Reggie Jackson's still serviceable. Zubac is still good. The Jazz, good team. I like the way they're built. The downfall would be if somebody pulls Rudy Gobert away from the paint, then it's over with. Dorian Finney-Smith Jr. Even said, or is it just Dorian? Is it just Dorian Finney-Smith? I'm
not sure if he has the suffix or not, but it is Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't know if he has the junior or not, but continue. We know what you're talking about.
The other day he was like, shoot, they gonna put Rudy Gobert on me. Well, I knew it was gonna be a good day, and he had 23. So it's like if you could pull Rudy Gobert away from the paint, it's like he become really ineffective. That's what the Nuggets did last year with Jokic, and Jokic tore Rudy Gobert to pieces in them from game 5 to 7. It's to me, I just think those are the sleeper. I mean, the contender teams. Also, I didn't mention the Nuggets. The Nuggets got Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon boosted their defense and offense way up to what it was just 2 weeks ago.
Great point.
But sleepers, to me, I think it's still. I think a sleeper has to be the Suns, and I think to me, I think the Grizzlies are a sleeper. Also, you can't leave out Greg Popovich and the Spurs. Greg Popovich is Greg Popovich, and he's going to coach. He's going to game plan well. The Grizzlies, I don't think I need to say anything about them because Steve's already got them. But I think the Suns are still sleepers to me. I don't think people are picking them as much as I think people are still just sleeping on them. Right. Now they got a good reason too, just because DeAndre Ayton ain't really as if DeAndre Ayton is aggressive. The Suns are the 1 seed without a doubt right now. He can get too passive sometimes, so I don't blame them for being a sleeper and for some people odds, but. I mean, they got Chris Paul and Devin Booker. I think they're a sleeper. Like people have them. I don't think people respect them as much as people think.
Yeah, I didn't really see the Suns. I didn't really think of them as a sleeper. To be honest, I just thought of them as like more of a contending team. Yeah, that's how much I think Chris Paul is up that team.
I got him
to that level
for sure.
Weiss, talk to me.
Yeah, but the obvious choice is Lakers, Clippers. Know what I'm saying? Jazz, I ain't always there with the Jazz. They doing their thing, though. But they, know what I'm saying? They just lost a couple of games recently. A great game. Who they just played? Damn.
The Trailblazers. And they played the Suns.
No. It was the Suns. Devin Booker and Donovan was going at it. That was a great game. But yeah, I'm not sold on them all the way, but Clippers, Lakers, I got the Suns as a contending team. And the Nuggets, those my top 4 teams for real. My sleeper teams, I got faith in my man Steph Curry.
Ooh, you pulled that. You pulled that out of a hat, man.
I got faith. I feel like they can get something going. Steph can stay healthy. Know what I'm saying? They play Wiseman a little more because Wiseman be doing this thing. He young. He just gotta get more playing time, get more reps. Know what I'm saying? Draymond a dog. You never know when he just gonna have a great game. Know what I'm saying? Who else? Mavericks. I believe in Luka Magic, man.
You do?
I believe in him, dog. Like I don't know why he just got something. I don't know why. I think they could do something. If they get in there, they could surprise a lot of teams. That's a sleeper. And I want to add one more. I got hopeful. I want to see Zion in the playoffs. Zion, hey, how he been playing recently, I definitely want to see Zion in the playoffs.
He ran a one the other day.
You got to get Gundy off that team first. But I got to say, your Curry on the Warriors is a good pick because I'm going to say it like, not like not the series, but I don't think any team wants to see Curry in a playing game. Like, one game, you're not going to see Curry.
You're not.
That's just a fact.
He's such a good shooter. It's annoying.
Right. If he gets hot, they beating anybody. All right. So coming away from this, I think that right now, if I'm looking in the West, the scariest team is the Clippers. They're scary because they can play small ball. They're scary because defensively they can lock anybody. And they got that kid, man, Rondo number 9. I am telling you, playoff Rondo is different. He's completely different. They can go small. They can put a blocker at the 5. But Toon was a very underrated pickup for them because what he's able to give you.
Zubac underrated for him.
Exactly. Yeah. So for me in the West, it's definitely the Clippers. We pulled the rabbit out of the hat because I was going to actually say the Warriors as well as a sleeper at that 10th seed. But I think it's something interesting about the Jazz. I don't know what it is. I feel like Utah has never gotten respect. Like even when they had Karl Malone and John Stockton, I think the greatest PNR duo of all time. I will put Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire up there as well. But they just don't. They're disrespected. Why are they disrespected? I don't get it. Like
I think it's just because they don't get like that star. Like don't get me wrong, Donovan Mitchell is a hell of a player, but he can't be no best player on the championship team.
He's a superstar.
So
all around, like that team is just built so like amazing. But I can understand your one take, Jalen, that they probably gonna have those games where they're just ice cold from three, and they do rely on that a lot in certain games.
Mm-hmm.
But I just love how that team's built. I think that team's real deal, honestly.
So, Weez, you think Donovan Mitchell is a superstar? Like, what tier of superstardom is he in?
If you just like he live for the moments. Like when they get clutch time, like he's making that shot, dog. Like I got faith on him with hitting that shot. Like I don't know if he could carry his whole team. I don't know. I just don't believe in the Jazz. I believe in him though, but I don't believe he could just go to the finals by like I don't know.
I don't believe in the Jazz either, but I can't tell you why I don't believe in them. I don't know if it's because what Jalen said, they don't have a LeBron, they don't have a Kawhi, like they don't have a Damian Lillard. Like do you feel like they have the closer in Donovan Mitchell? Do you feel like he's a closer?
Yeah, hell yeah, for sure. Fuck yeah, he's definitely a closer.
Are people looking at their 3-1 blown lead last in the year in the playoffs too much? Saying like,
that's a great point.
He didn't close that out, like.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Might be looking at
look
that.
at what he did though. Like I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's why he was insane in the bubble.
But he did like what? Like it's only him. What else can he do? I get what y'all saying, but like he's a dog. Like
now I know that's your guy. I'm just saying overall, and it's not just media. You know what I'm saying? It's not just us that don't fully believe in him. You know what I'm saying? Steve says he believes in him, but it's also players who said this as well. Like,
yeah, well, you remember LeBron chose Rudy Gobert last in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they was the last two picks, wasn't it? Or something
Yeah. And LeBron said, "I need size." Drafted Sabonis over Rudy Gobert.
And I mean, they got my boy Conley. I can't.
Yeah. Weez knows this. I've always been a big fan of Mike Conley, man. He just plays the right way, man. That pedigree
that's
as
why.
well.
Because that's a big reason why they're playing so good this season. Is because last year Conley couldn't find his role because he's so used to being the primary ball handler. So he took a whole year trying to figure out what his role was, and he figured it out this year. And they've just been looking so much better.
Can I also say
he just had in the bubble he had his baby girl or something like that too, right?
Yeah.
Bubble too. What you was about to say, Jalen?
I was about to say, like, you look at it like the Jazz haven't showed up in the playoffs for like don't get me wrong, they've won what 2 series in the past 3 years since they had Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, something like that.
It's like when they lost, like they go out bad, like they shoot terrible. They play bad defense, like it's like that's all they do is go out bad, especially against the Nuggets. It's always like the blow 3 on lead. It's like I wonder if I'm me, I'm not putting my faith in them to make it out the West. I'm putting the Lakers. I'll put my faith in the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Nuggets. I'm not putting.
My bad, bro. How many years Donovan Mitchell been in the league though?
Is this his
4 now, right?
or 4?
I think it's 4.
This
I think
third,
2016 came in.
Oh, 2016?
Yeah, 2016 or 2017, one of the years.
Man, I'm about to look it up. Don't worry about it.
I want to say this is his.
Because he beat playoff P rookie year.
I ain't gonna hold you.
What was he drafted at? Like 11?
Yeah, he's at like 13.
Yeah, I think it was 13.
Out of NC State, or am I correct?
Louisville.
Oh, Louisville. Yeah, I'm getting the.
I mean, but it's the same. It's the same color, so I can and same conference. So I can see.
I'm getting that mixed up.
But he beat playoff P his rookie year.
2017.
So 2017, 2018, 2018, 2019, 2019, 2020. This is his 4th season. I thought it was his 3rd.
Oh yeah, this is 4th. Oh yeah.
So if y'all have nothing else less to say for this segment, I want to give everybody like a closing argument. You can speak on anything you'd like to speak of. Don't have to be basketball related. Jalen, we'll start with you.
I don't really got much to say. I really can't think of nothing to say. I ain't got nothing.
All right, Steez.
I like what we talked about today. I only got nothing to say.
Got you. Great job. We gonna definitely have to have you on that next episode too, man. You killed it today. Weez?
Yeah, I don't think the Celtics or the Grizzlies gonna make it to the real play.
You said I'm tripping?
Hold on. So when you say that, you mean they gonna lose in the play-in? Both teams?
Hey,
I mean, no, the Celtics, they really are going to lose in the play-in. Like,
be one and done, both out.
I don't know about the plan. Yeah, you I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, if I have to face the Warriors, I know how that's gonna go. Curry gonna go 7 for 10 from 3. Probably nice 50 piece on him.
Who did y'all lose to in the play-in last year, Steve?
The Blazers.
Hey,
You got McCollum talking about his fractured back. You know that was happened.
I remember that.
In the last minute, I'm like, damn, bro. What are we supposed to do?
They was in a race with like the Spurs, the Pelicans, and the Blazers. Hey, it was real close.
And the Suns, because the Suns got a fuego in the bubble.
Oh, the Pelicans were trash.
Oh man, they were terrible. I wanted them to go to.
The Suns, not Pelicans. My bad.
Yeah,
they was.
Yes, Suns.
Yeah.
But McCollum was capping, bro. His back was not fractured. That dude was crossed up everywhere. He's lying, bro. He wouldn't be playing if his back was broken.
Hey, facts. Jalen, you got a rebuttal for Weezer's statement?
I don't blame him for not trusting the Celtics. It's the Celtics. Like, I don't blame him for not trusting them. I wouldn't put all my faith in them right now either. But I do want to say this. Hey, if Celtics get to the playoffs, we making the second round.
That's who it is.
We upsetting who?
We gonna get y'all in that play in. Wizards gonna make the play in. We playing the Celtics. Y'all one time.
I don't want to hear that from KT. If y'all beat us, man.
Hey, I'm telling you, bro. I'm coming. I ain't gonna say the city you live in, but I'm coming in, bro.
City.
Man. So to close this episode, man. First of all, you all killed it. Y'all should definitely give yourself a pat on the back. I definitely had a lot of fun doing this episode. But I want to say, like I said in the beginning, man, rest in peace to DMX. He means a lot to all of us, man. The media, sports, we've all played sports once upon a time. And just like I said earlier, the pregame music for DMX. So, like I said, I can't wait to do this next episode. Hopefully we can get another one out to y'all soon. What I'm actually about to do now is edit this and get it up on YouTube ASAP. I can't wait to see it. But hey, for Lever Weez, for Jalen the journalist, for Steezy, our special guest today, I would like to thank you all. This is as real as it gets. If you agree or disagree with anything we saying, don't be afraid to comment in the comment section. Also, go ahead hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna give y'all a couple seconds to hit the. Hey Weez, they ain't hit the subscribe button. Weez, go get the jump, bro. They haven't hit the subscribe button yet, man.
Man, put the bell on too, though.
Hey, man, yeah, make sure y'all hit that bell, like Steezy said, that notification bell. Also, check out Brad and Steez on our network. Also, check out Alumni Fan Rant on our network. Make sure you check out Fantasy Vibes with the Fantasy Czar Moon Vibes. We got a lot of content coming to you. Also, if you're an NFL fan, we will be hosting the NFL Draft on R1P as well. You all have a blessed one. From us to you all, good night.